Hey friends, welcome to Yoga How To. This is Amber, and today I'm talking about the fact that you are always doing yoga. It's just a matter of how aware of it you are or not, and how to become more aware of it so you're more effective with it and you get better results in your life. You experience more peace, more happiness, more joy. That's the point. I want to start and just quickly thank those of you who have taken the time to have conversations with me about watching these videos that Austin and I are doing. And just when you mention that you've gotten something from them or found them valuable in some way, that's so encouraging to us. Our goal is to make yoga accessible for all. And that doesn't just mean asana accessible, poses accessible through classes, right? It means making these concepts that we take off the mat and into life accessible. What does yoga look like when we're living it? How do we bring it more fully into our lives? And that's something I want you to think about for today's video, is how conscious are you of the yoga you're doing? Because according to Graham Schwag, who is an author, he's, I believe, a Vaishnavite, which is it? I can't remember. He talks about you are doing yoga all the time. It's either on an unconscious level, a conscious level, or a perfected level. And as yogis, what we are trying to do is bring these natural states into more consciousness, more awareness. Our yoga practices on the mat help us to do this by sattvicizing the mind, making it more pure, more harmonious, and that slows it down so we're more aware of what it's doing. Okay, my dogs are outside barking. I'm going to let them bark. Then, as we become more aware of what the mind's doing, we start to tell the mind more what to do. So first it's an awareness of what it's doing, and then we start to direct it and tell the mind what to do. And actually, when I talk about redirecting the vrittis, this is really a phrase that comes from Graham Schwag. He talks about how the heart of yoga is taking those vrittis, those movements of the mind that are maybe spinning us this way, and going, no, we're going this way. So that starts to bring us into a more conscious level with yoga. And then perfected means every time we're aware of the thought, and every time we direct it in the appropriate way. We use viveka, we use discernment to pick the most helpful thought and feeling and action. So think about this. Let's start with the sixth limb, Dharana, which is concentration. Your mind is always concentrating on something. Even if it's blipping all over the place, it's always doing some level of dharana. The unconscious level of that means we're not aware. It's just going all over. We're thinking about picking the kids up from school, then feeding the dogs, and then that crappy thing that someone said to us at work, and then, oh yeah, I better buy roses for my mom for Mother's Day, or whatever the thing is. Like just boom, 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 boom. In this level, we really have the three lower states of mind, which is mudha, which is like a dullness, darkness, and that's where it's just the mind is directed in just such a slow, heavy way. It's just and it really miscomprehends and understands the world around it entirely, including its own self. Then we have kishpta, which is more disturbed, so that we start to get more movement here, but it is just all over, and it's reckless, and the mind is just like maybe an elephant on mountains of cocaine let loose in downtown New York City. Or I guess there is just a good saying, a bull in a china shop. I could have just gone with that. Anyhow, these are the levels we're working through. And then we get up to vikishpta, which is distracted. So there's still this pinging quality, but there's more of a, I'm trying to bring it here, but it goes over here. I'm trying to bring it here, but it goes over here. And this is where we start to bring it out of that unconscious level of yoga to more conscious. I am aware. I am trying to keep my mind under control and direction. I am going to direct it rather than it driving this car. It's like having a 3-year-old drive the car, right? But we're not very good at it yet. We catch a thought and then we instantly get distracted with another one, or we catch a thought and go, ooh, I noticed my tendency to do this. Oh, there I am going and being self-righteous. and I want to put something in its place. I want to do Pratipakshapavana. Oh, but the feeling's too good, so I go back to it. Or, oh, but then this thing over here distracts me. It's like a dog going down a path, smelling here, and then here, and then here, and then here, but then it gets back on the path. This is more the vikipshta mind. And this is where we start to pull the yoga into consciousness. We start to become more engaged with it and more deliberate with it. We're practicing more viveka, more discernment. As it starts to get perfected, we can hold that dharana, that mind steady, and we get to an ekagrata state of mind, a one-pointed state of mind, so that if here's what I'm concentrating on, that's where my mind is. It's not hopping over here, not hopping over there. So as we perfect it, we start to get to that. It's sometimes compared to like drips in a faucet. So as we're starting to develop conscious dharana, it's like a drip of water. Each drip is our concentration, but we're getting more deliberate, more concentrated until it starts to become a stream with very few drips, and the water's coming out faster. And then by the time we get to perfect it, it's this nice steady stream. That then turns into meditation and samadhi. And I want to give you quickly an example of samadhi and how, because you might think, well, how do we engage in that unconsciously? As close as I can remember to Graham Schwag's example that I'll give you, it's been a while since I took a class, and it's been, I think that was in 2020, so forgive me if this is slightly off, but the concept's right. If we are unconsciously absorbed in something, that is an unconscious samadhi. And these samadhis leave imprints in the mind. And so that's why we want to be more and more conscious of that absorption. What absorption means is that flow of concentration is so directed that we lose the sense of our own mind, and our mind becomes completely colored by the object of concentration. Well, if the object, you've been in a movie and forgotten you're in the movie theater, right? And been so absorbed in it, you have emotional reactions as if you are experiencing what these characters are experiencing. He would say that is a state of samadhi. And that's like, wow, because that's really coloring the mind when that's happening. So as we do more yoga, we start to level this up until we start to experience it in our meditations. The mind becomes more concentrated so that we can meditate, so that then we can experience samadhis on objects that are more sattvic, more appropriate, more harmonious, and that are going to reinforce those samskaras of sattva, of peace and harmony, of discernment, and of intelligence, which is not, it's not the kind of intelligence we think of it often in the West, like book smart or something. It's well, that's another conversation. So my question to you today is, how are you practicing your yoga? How much of it is in those states of mudha, kishpta? Are you starting to move into vikishpta? That a little more distracted? That's where most of us are if we're doing yoga, and that's actually great. That's an awesome place to be. Are you having moments of ekagrata? And beyond that, do you ever get the mind totally still, those states of mind totally still, to where you are in the nirodha or narodaha, you have stilled the mind? That is the fifth state of my nirodha, and that would be that perfected state, when you can then, just like I said, take it, you stop the mind, and you tell the mind exactly, you use it as an instrument. You don't get confused anymore thinking you are it. Instead, there's the total realization that it is an instrument here for your use. And with that, you become empowered to use it in the way that you discern you should. Okay, everyone. Have a great day. Go do the yoga. You're doing it anyway, right now, as we speak.